Hey everybody, this is Axe254. Today we are diving into something totally new. This is Destiny 2. There have been reviews about it, but today I will be doing a game review, not a gameplay. And I will be sharing with you what I did find really exciting about this game. There is so much to talk about. I will see you after the intro. Let's kick this off with me saying thank you to Bungie for actually bringing a console exclusive title finally to the PC Master Race, and I am just glad to see that Destiny 2 was the first of its kind to come to PC, and I'm so glad. I've been seeing this game being played on PS4 or Xbox, and I've seen it have so many things to do. Like it just looked good. It was just a good game from Destiny 1. People were talking of great boss fights and all this other looting that they need to do. Yes, we have Warframe, but still PC bringing Destiny 2 to PC was just like, for me, it was just a huge thing. And then another thing that I really liked about this game was the fact that the graphics are so well optimized. Like, I can run the game on my 1050 Ti on 1080p resolution at medium settings, which is so good. Even with things like motion blur turned on, it still performs so well. I was getting around 75 to 100 frames depending on the environmental place that you are. Like, if you are in an open environment, it can even jump up to like 120 frames per second. But if I was playing on, let's say, a closed environment, only dips up to like 75 frames per second, which is kind of not noticeable, okay, to my eye, but maybe to some people it may be noticeable. Another thing that I noticed about this game is the fact that the game has like a fairly linear progression system where you don't get to like roam around into an open world, but even though you do some of these missions with your friends, it's kind of like one pathway thing. You have to go through certain stages, you have to do some certain things in order for you to acquire things. And fairly, on my part, I do find this was kind of like the old system. Now everybody is doing all these open world games, and I really do find it nice that Destiny 2 goes back to that kind of system where it's a linear progression. Not all games are suitable for an open world. Like, just to mention the Tom Clancy Ghost Wildlands, it's a good open world game, but I am so used to Tom Clancy Ghost being a linear progression kind of system. Another thing I came to really hate about this game was the fall damage. Like, you have to look down for you to like know when you're supposed to thrust to avoid the fall damage, which is kind of normal for maybe guys who have played Destiny before. But for some of us guys who have played Warframe a lot, or maybe even Overwatch, you don't really need to like focus on the fall because you don't really get damage from it. But Destiny 2, there's a lot of fall damage. Like, so many times the floor disappears. When you're doing this final boss battle on the beta version, the floor disappears, and before you actually get a grip of how things actually work, you just find yourself falling down, getting a lot of damage. And considering you're doing a boss battle in Destiny, which is my next point, Destiny has just the most annoying bosses, and they tend to be surrounded by all these minions who just keep doing damage to you if you don't focus on killing them. And if you do focus a lot on killing minions, you just get wrecked by the boss. You don't even see some of the things that are usually happening on screen, which is kind of fun. And while playing this boss battle, I came to notice that when we actually killed the boss the first time, it was Night Elf and I and some other random guy, and the actual killing, as in when you actually kill the boss, I felt so satisfied. Like, it was the best part about the open beta. It was just so satisfying. Like, when you land the final shot and this guy just explodes and dies, and you're just sitting there and you get even not so concentrated on the loot, you're just so happy that you actually killed the boss. Like, on my end, it was so satisfying. Most of the games that do come out nowadays, the boss battle isn't that much satisfying. Like, even when I played Mass Effect Andromeda, the boss battle was kind of good, but it was just like, I did it in like 15 minutes. It was so quick. It didn't have the oomph that the boss battle in this game had. And another thing that I did like about doing the boss battle in this game is you're doing it with your friends. So there's this cooperative thing where if, let's say, one is dying, you have to go revive, and the game mechanics is if one guy dies, now the boss starts focusing, even the minions start focusing on an individual player, so that if they take out you two, you remain only like one guy, and now when you remain one guy, you can see how easy it is to take you down. So like it has some really satisfying mechanics when it comes to fighting the boss, which is giving you this whole nice experience of like finally when you do kill the boss. And then another thing I didn't like about Destiny, maybe it's because I've never played Destiny before, or because I'm used to playing Titanfall or Overwatch. The sprint system is kind of slow in my own perspective, and even my friend Nightel tells me that when you're playing the game, the sprint is kind of slow, and it kind of feels weird when you're trying to sprint away from the boss and this guy doesn't miss his shots. The boss just lands his shots on you, and it's not such a big thing. Maybe it's something I'll just have to adjust to, but at the end I didn't really like the sprinting in this game. But I know that's something minute, something I don't have to really do. But the sprinting and maybe the hovering, maybe it's because I still haven't gotten the game mechanics. The hovering is really annoying. Like when you double jump, you can use, they are like thrusters, or I don't know how it works. But when you jump and then you like try to jump again, there are modes that you can use to change how things work. But there are some you just find yourself floating up in the air for like 10 seconds. And not 10 seconds, like 3 seconds, which is kind of annoying if you're fighting the boss. Because now if you're up in the air, it's like the game is set to like realize who has the least health and focus. So if you're up in the air and you have like little health, they just focus on you and you're just floating there dying. But that's besides the point. The game is so much fun. Especially the weapons. There was this pistol that reminded me of, it works like McCree's pistol. When you shoot it like a travel line, and then the weapons have sort of different damage elements. So if you're gonna be killing guys, maybe there are some weapons that are specified for certain enemies and all that stuff. And for me, actually, this game is just, it's good. Like so far with the beta version that I've played, the game is so good. It's so enjoyable. Now onto the story of whether I'm gonna be buying it or not. I'm gonna give the game 4 months. I wanna see how I'm gonna compare it to Anthem. So when Anthem comes out and I see that Destiny 2 has matured better, I'm gonna give Destiny 2 6 months, so that when it comes out, maybe by then Anthem would have come out, and maybe give Anthem 2 months lead, so that I can see how both games are maturing. And finally, I'm gonna decide on which game I'm gonna buy. But for me, right now, I'm leaning towards Destiny 2 so much, and I would like to buy this game. This game is just super epic. Like I've said, I'm gonna be playing it. Can't imagine having Destiny 2 and Warframe coming out with the Plains of Eidolon. That's just so much grind. But then obviously there's also Overwatch, which has all this competitive gameplay that you're trying to like get good in, while playing with randoms online, getting all this salt. Like there's so much which is gonna be happening in the next couple of months after this game comes out. And honestly, after seeing FIFA 18, it's another game which I'm just gonna be ignoring. I'm not gonna be buying it. I'm just gonna be waiting for it to come on Origin Access. And that's my opinion on this game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time. This is your host, X254. Peace.